Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. In today's class, we are coming to talk about the change of subject. In our previous lessons, we talked about substitution, simultaneous equations and other stuff. But today's class, we are coming to do what? Change of subject. People find it difficult to solve questions when they see square roots in them at the change of subject. So in today's class, we are coming to learn how to what? Solve change of subject involving what? Square roots. Okay. One thing I want you to know is that the opposite of square root is squared. The opposite of what? Square root is squared. So in every question, for you to be able to get rid of a square root in a particular question, what you need to do is that to square both sides of the equation to get rid of what? The square root. So in this question, we are asked what? Make L the subject. So making L the subject, the L is what? Found in the square root. So what you do is that you get rid of the square root. As I told you, for you to get rid of the square root by what? You do so by what? Squaring both sides. So going straight to the question, we have T is equal to 2 pi this g over what? L. So for us to be able to what? To get rid of what? Of the square root, we have to what? Square both sides. So make here squared, here also what? Squared. So we are squaring both sides of what? Of the equation. Mind you, whatever that is in front of the square root has also been what? Been squared. So taking square root of both sides, this square root cancel this square root, but these 2 pi also have what? Squares with them. So going straight, the t squared becomes what? This is equal to, because this square is also catering for this 2 pi, then this 2 pi need to be also be what? Squared. So 2 squared will be what? 4, then the pi will also be what? Squared. So pi what? Squared. Now the square has cancelled the square root, so I have gotten rid of what? The square root over here. So I have gotten g over what? L. So from that instance, this is what we have gotten. Okay, from here we are looking for what? L, as we are asked to what? Make L the subject. So our main focus is what? On the L. So from here, what we do is that we use what? This one outside the bracket to expand the bracket. So we get c squared will be equal to 4 pi squared times what? G. So we get 4 pi squared G all over what? L. We know any number standing alone is over 1. So from here, what you do is that what? We cross multiply. We do what? We cross multiply. So L times t squared would give us what? T squared L is equal to what? 4 pi squared what? G. And we are asked to what? Make what? L the subject. So since we are asked to make the L the subject, whatever that is worrying the L, what we do is that what? We eliminate that particular thing from it. That is what we do. So the one that is closer to the L is what? The t squared. So what we do is that what? We eliminate the L from what? From the t squared. That is what we do. So doing so, t squared will be, we will divide both sides by what? T squared. So that is here also by t squared. So t squared cancels t squared. Now we will have our L to be equal to what? 4 pi squared g all over what? T squared. And there we go. Okay, so this is our final answer. Okay, we'll be moving on to what? To our second question. So let's go to our second question. In our second question, as I told you earlier in our first question, that the only thing that can get rid of what? Square root is what? Square. In our second question, we are asked to what? Make z the subject. And z is found what? Within the square root. So what we have to do is that what? We have to make what? We have to get rid of what? The square root first before we can what? We can make z the subject. So upon doing so, let's repeat our question. Y is equal to 2 pi root of z minus v all over z minus w. Okay, so as I earlier on told you, the only thing that we can get rid of square root is by what? Squaring both sides. So we square here, then we do same here by also what? Squaring here. So this time this will give us what? This will give us y squared. And over here, as I told you earlier in the first one, what you do is that the squared here is catering for this one also. This one is also squared. So with this one, 2 squared will be what? 4. Then pi squared is still what? Pi squared. Then the square root, what the square will do to the square root is that the square will what? Cancel the square root. So from there to left with what? Z minus v all over what? Z minus what? W below it. Okay, from here, as we did in the first one, when it comes like this, you what? You use the one outside the bracket to what? To expand it. So using the one outside the bracket to expand it, what you do is that our y squared will be equal to 4 pi squared into bracket what? Z minus v, the whole thing over what? Z minus w, because what? This one is what? Multiplying it. From there, any number standing alone is over 1. So you can make this one over 1, then you use this one to expand it, then use this one also to do same. Okay, so from there, this is how we do it. So cross multiplication here. So y squared into bracket z minus w will be equal to what? 4 pi squared z minus v. Okay, So from this particular instance, what we need to do is what? To expand our what? Our bracket. So y squared times what? Z will give us what? Y squared Z. Then the minus comes y squared times w will give us y squared w is equal to 4 pi squared times z to give us what? 4 pi squared z minus this 4 pi squared times v will give us 4 pi squared what? V. Okay, so from here what we do is that we group like terms because we are asked to make what? Z the subject. So we do what? We group like terms. We group all those with z one side, then all those without z also what? To one particular side. So from there I get to know that this one is with z, then this one is also with z. So you underline them so that you group them to what? To your left, so that you what? You'll be able to what? Solve them simple. So grouping them to my left, I have y squared z. This one is positive, it is coming, it will be what? Negative. So minus 4 pi squared what? Z, which is also equal to, because this one is coming, this one was already negative, so when it comes to what? Positive. So in that instance, that one will be what? Y squared w. Then this one was already here, which is what? Which was a negative 4 pi what? Squared v. So that will be minus 4 pi squared what? V. Okay, so now we have grouped like terms. So now we have z here, we have z here. So what we need to do is that from this particular instance, when you get here, what you do is that what? You factorize what? The z out, because z is here, z is here. As we did in our previous lessons on what? Common factors. You can click on a link below to what? To get what? To get the video on what? On common factors. That is it. So over here we'll be using common factors what? To factorize this one, because there is a factor here, there is a factor here, which is z. So if z comes out here, what next we'll do is that z is here. So if you divide here by z, what will be left? To be left with what? Y squared. Then negative comes. If we divide 4 pi squared z also by z, what will be left? The z cancels z, so we will be left with what? 4 pi squared. Okay, it's equal to what? Y squared w minus 4 pi squared v. Okay, now our z is standing alone. So what we do is that any variable closer to the z, what? We eliminate it by what? Dividing both sides by that particular what? Variable. So what we do is that we divide both sides by y squared minus 4 pi squared. We do same to this guy, y squared minus what? 4 pi what? Squared. So the whole of this will cancel the whole of this, leaving us our z. So now our z will be equal to what? Y squared w minus 4 pi squared v all over y squared minus what? 4 pi squared. Okay, so this is our answer for this our question. So this and many more is what we do today. This our try question here, which says make s the subject. So that is t is equal to 2 pi square root of what? X over j. So you solve this and give me the answers in the comment section. Give me your answers in the comment section. And moreover, you should please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channels and also press on the notification button, so that each and every time when you come your way, you'll be able to get our videos very fast. We thank you.